Hello, week 3 predictions here. Back-to-back days of videos. Some people call me the hardest working commissioner in the country, but I don't care about the labels. I don't care about the awards. I'm just here because I love the sport. Yeah. So as you can see behind me, everyone's records. I kind of went over it in the recap, but let's get into some matchups for this week. Let's see if I can do better at predicting who's going to win. Probably not. And I have one thing to address before I get into the matchups. Ishan Singh, what are we doing here? You draft our buddy Parker Romo. You keep him stashed on your roster for a week. Weird move. It's fine. Then you get the benefit of him getting picked up and you get to spot start him. I think he had like 20 points for you. Awesome. Good for you. It was a meme that helped you. And then he gets demoted back down to practice squad. For what reason? I don't know. He was sick. And then you drop him for Dontavian Wicks. The fuck? What are we doing here? Anyway, someone will scoop him up once he clears waivers. I'm sure Rob already has a claim in for him. Eesh, what a strange move. All right, I made this mistake last video. I'm going to talk about myself first so I can talk for as long as I want because that's the benefit of being the commissioner. Fuck you all. Anyway, Ford versus Briggs. Unfortunately, I have to face off with one of the 2-0 teams. Not great for your boy. But I think I have a good shot. And because I'm in a high energy, cocky kind of mood right now, I will be picking myself to win. Allen and Cook against Miami on Thursday Night Football. I will be able to tell you exactly how this matchup goes based on them. I have one small concern. I think they're going to have their way with Miami. My one small concern is we could be in like the mid-third quarter. It could be like 36-3. And they're just like, yeah, Josh and James Cook are not playing another second. So there is a world where those two only get like a half of football. But hopefully it's close enough. Maybe the Dolphins offense will keep it close for like a quarter. So then it's like 30-17 or something. I don't know. I just need them to play the whole game. If they do, I think I have a great chance. Bengals scare me this week, but that goes both ways. Chase Brown and Jamar Chase. I think the stats are that like with Jake Browning, they don't run more. But I think they pretty much keep their same scheme. So I think Jamar Chase could still be a good play. Chase Brown has been weird so far, but I'm sure he'll bounce back. So both the Bengals are okay probably. We'll see how they settle in post-Burrow Cincinnati. For Briggs, Sharps, he doesn't really have any other options, but it's still scary. Maybe against New Orleans. Him and Kenneth Walker have kind of gone back and forth. I saw someone break it down that like week 1, Kenneth Walker got most of the touches, but Sharps was way better. And then week 2, Sharps got more touches, but Kenneth Walker was way better. So that's a pretty even backfield. Just kind of depends on who gets the important touches at the end of the day, but we'll see. I just got to cancel out Amon-Ra. I'll get to this game a lot more later, but I think that's going to be an insane shootout, so I need Jamar Chase to lock in for that. I'm sticking with myself. I'm going to have to choose between starting Dobbins and Pollard. I think Dobbins is playing better, but I think Pollard has been good and he's projected more. I think he finds the end zone, so I'm probably sticking with Pollard. I'm a little scared about Tucker Kraft versus Fannin Jr. We'll see. I'm picking myself. This will probably be one where next Tuesday you see myself beating myself up for picking me. But we'll see. Good luck, Briggs. All right, matchup number 2, Rag versus Scott. Scott, the other undefeated team. These are the 2 highest projected scores this week. Rag at 126, Scott at 126, Rag at 124. Which sucks for both of them because there are some low projected scores out there. Like, I think Sutton is projected like 108, maybe less. So it sucks that these two have to play each other on weeks they're supposed to go off like this. Maybe this is Stroud's week for Rag. Jacksonville's defense looks real shitty. Like, they got torched by Jake Browning. Torched is exaggerative. He threw 3 picks. But you see what I'm saying. Stroud could play well. Maybe the Denver defense has a little to say about Herbo's good run, but I think he'll probably be good. What I am concerned about is Achane against Buffalo in primetime. That could be sketchy. Javonte Williams. At the start of the year, I mean, I had no idea what to make of him, but he is legitimately, I think he's running back 3, and now he's projected 16 points. He was probably projected like 8 points week 1 or something. He is legit RB1 on a fun offense, so that's fun for you. Hopefully Kamara stays healthy. Hopefully everyone stays healthy. I don't want any more injuries. I just want everyone to be healthy. Oh, God. Jaden. Anyway, I still like Jettas against that Cincinnati defense, even with Wentz. He's so good that it really shouldn't matter, but God only knows what we're going to see out of Carson Wentz this weekend. That is legit scary. Yeah, overall, I think Rag's matchups are way juicier. I like the Cowboys' offense against that shitty-ass Bears defense. Shout out Cal. And then I just like it. I like Kamara against Seattle. Although their defense looked okay, but that was against Aaron Rodgers, so who knows. And then just a lot. Herbo against Denver, against Buffalo, against San Fran's defense. London against Carolina's fun. But then against Philly's defense. So I'm taking Rag here. I think this is going to be a great matchup. Wouldn't be surprised if either of these guys won. And honestly, wouldn't really care if either of these guys won. Either Scott goes to 3-0, and that's very fun, or Rag, 2-1. A little momentum. Would be sick. All right, I'm going to try and get one more out of the way here before I have to change to the next video. It's only on TikTok. YouTube is all one video. Maish versus Poosh. Pooshon has a chance to knock Maish to 0-3 and essentially end his season. I don't have the stats because that would take a while to go back and look, but I can't imagine an 0-3 team has... Maybe they've snuck into the playoffs because, I mean, Brett got in the playoffs at 6-8 last year. So, like, it's possible. Like, you could finish the season 6-5 and get in maybe, but we'll see. We'll see. Maish. Russie against Kansas City in a Kansas City must-win game. I know you don't really have much options because of Burrow going down, but that's horrifying. I checked the waivers. There's no other real options, but that is very scary. So we got Sunday Night Football quarterback matchup there. That's fun. You're also starting Judkins and Quentin Johnston, who Johnston, I can't argue with production. I personally hate him, but he's been catching bombs and scoring touchdowns, so you can't argue with that. Judkins, forgot to mention this fun fact in the recap. It was Samson, Judkins, and Jerome Ford. They each had 10 fantasy points. I think Judkins was 10-1, Ford was 10-4, and Samson was 10-9. That's all off the top of the head there. But they all scored 10. So who knows what Judkins is going to do? Horrifying. Absolutely horrifying. I am going with Pooshon in this matchup, and let me tell you why. This game right here, Baltimore-Detroit, I think is going to be similar to the Baltimore versus Bills game earlier in the season. I think it's going to be a shootout. I think a lot of points. I think both these guys score touchdowns. I think Mike Evans against that shitty Jets defense is going to be awesome. I think he's finally going to get in the end zone. Yeah, I'm just looking for a points fest here. I'm looking at probably the better QB. Mahomes has to win this game or the Chiefs are cooked. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just A.J. Brown does scare me. I guess I'll go on my Eagles rant now because it affects me as a Devontae Smith owner as well. The Eagles might just turn into what the Chiefs have been the last 2 years, where it's like, we're not going to score many points. We're all going to be shitty in fantasy, but you're just gonna win. I think I said that last video, but the Eagles are just going to win games, but maybe not be the most reliable fantasy players. So A.J. Brown scares me, but the rest of his team, I think I like Pooshon over Maish. Hunter's scary. Laporta's been bad. Quentin Johnston's hit or miss. Judkins is scary. Russie's scary. It's Josh Jacobs and Puka Nacua versus the world, and I am taking the world. All right, we're back again. I just had to hear myself say hello at the start of the other video. Ugh. Making these videos, you'd think I'd get used to hearing my own voice. Nope, it still sucks. But once again, I do it for the love of the game. People texting me. All right, Ish versus Brett. Another really good matchup. It is my matchup of the week. As of recording, Ish is projected 120.52, and Brett is projected 120.46. That's fun right there, folks. That's really fun. So, with that being said, I am taking Brett this week. It hurts me, but let me walk you through my processes. Waddle and Tracy are scary. Injured, shitty, scary. But I've said it a ton. Lamar Jackson and Zay Flowers in that Detroit game on Monday night, I think, are just going to go off. I think Ish's team is in a much better position to be a solid team moving forward, but I love Ish's team this week. CeeDee Lamb against that dog shit Chicago defense. Shout out, Cal. And Jordan Mason, all the touches against that shitty Cincinnati defense. I don't know if the rest of the team is going to particularly matter. Those four are going to carry Brett. Dak might throw to CeeDee Lamb 50 times. So I like George Pickens for Rob too, but I love that Detroit versus Ravens game for fantasy. But Ish's team, I mean, obviously this game is projected to be a nail biter. Ish's team is still solid. Gibbs is in that same game. I think he's going to be awesome. Swift gets to play against Dallas's defense. That'll be fun. But he's a little banged up, and that offense isn't as fun as Dallas's. JSN versus New Orleans could be good, but here's where I hit my issue. Cortland Sutton and David Njoku. I was high on both of them coming into the season. Njoku is just, that Browns passing offense has been dog shit. And then Cortland Sutton, I don't know. I keep asking, what the fuck's going on with the Broncos offense? Because that's so ugly. And now they're going against the Chargers, who have a solid defense. And I just think it's a do or die week, and I cannot base my picks off a potential death. So, tough. And then Ish has Kyron Williams against Philly. So, top half of Ish's lineup, fun, has a chance. Bottom half, kind of gross. I like the upside of Brett this week. Don't want to, Ish, I'm sorry, but I am picking Brett in this matchup. All right, another good one here. Another 50-50 split, as you can see. Clay versus Rob. Clay potentially starting Jordan Love over Jaden if Jaden has to sit against the Raiders. I hope he doesn't. Actually, I don't know. I go back and forth. If he's hurt, don't start him. If he's not, just play him. We need this win. Anyway, he's still starting Kyle Pitts in his flex, which even in a 14-man league is just tough to see. Just tough. This game is the one I went back and forth on the most because I like Christian McCaffrey against Arizona and I like Bowers against the Commies, but Metcalf and Judy have been so shitty. Jaden's hurt or Jordan Love's not as good of a fantasy player. And then Rob's team, I just have no clue. I love Baker against the Jets. I love Jonathan Taylor, but then Omarion Hampton, I have no idea. Roma Dunze, is he going to keep getting every touchdown for some reason? Is Brian Thomas Jr. even still willing to play football? Is George going to get touches? I think he will. Is Otten going to get touches? Rob's team is just so confusing. And I think Rob's team just put my brain in such a blender that I'm just going to pick him. Fuck it. I'm taking Rob here. I don't think I've talked about this Jets game yet, but I think that Jets defense might just be horrendous. How many points did they give up? They've given up 73 points in their first two games. Somebody fact check that. That's off the dome. But yeah, the way Seattle made that Pittsburgh offense look last week makes me think the Jets defense is just so bad that they made Aaron Rodgers look good again. And then they just got torched again. So I love Baker in that. That'll be fun. That's why I like Mike Evans earlier. I'm going Rob here. His very weird team might put up 180. That's my prediction. Rob's team it all just clicks and he gets 180, or it all collapses. He has two people on IR and he's the lowest scorer. So either way, I'm looking forward to it. Sorry, Clay. I just got to rock with Rob and his chaos. All right, now we got the other 0-2 team, Adam Sutton, going against Hayden, who is another very confusing team. One week I'm calling him the best team ever. The next week I am cursing him under the rug. So, yeah. Spoiler alert, Sutton's 0-2 for a reason. He's the biggest underdog this week, I think. Like a dozen points or something. Just bad. And this team is tough. Bo Nix hasn't been what I think people kind of expected him to be. He's going with the double commies with either an injured quarterback or a backup. Neither of them. Zach Ertz has been playing fine, but Terry hasn't got jump-started yet. Ladd against the Denver defense. Ladd hasn't really gotten going yet. Breece Hall in a game where I think they're going to be trailing and have to chase, and with a old backup quarterback playing. Obviously, Saquon's a lock to play well, but... And then Shaheed in the flex. This Sutton team just scares me. I'm picking Hayden. Penix against Carolina could be a good get-right game for the air game. Obviously, Bijan looked great, but got to get Penix going at some point. I love Hayden's running backs this week. Bucky against the Jets. Love Tampa Bay players this week. Tampa Bay touchdown scores, Tampa Bay money line, Tampa Bay give whatever spread. I love it. And now I will clip this exact clip for when the Jets win. Anyway, picking Hayden. Neighbors, even against Kansas City, I'm sure he'll be great. Tyreek Hill, who knows. Juwan Johnson, like I said, waiver wire pickup of the year. I'm sure he'll do good things. Closer game than you'd expect, but in no right mind can I choose Sutton here. I apologize, Adam. If you go to 0-3, you have my condolences. It ain't gonna be me. And finally, what a gross matchup. Cal versus Mikosi. This is the one I took the least amount of notes on, even less than Adam Sutton versus Hayden. Mikosi's a big favorite here. Cal has a strange team. I'm worried about every single member of Cal's team except for Bijan. Will Danny Dimes continue his magic? Is KW3 really even an RB1? Can Higgins start producing even with a backup quarterback? Can questionable Egbuka keep going on his incredible rookie pace? What the fuck is Hunter Henry? And will Bill step in and be a true RB1 on the commies? The answer to all those is I have no fucking clue. So I know Bijan will be great. That's all that matters for Cal, I guess. And then Mikosi's team, I think Drake May might eat that Pittsburgh defense alive. They might just be a bad unit. Historically bad, if you want to go there, Maish. Then you can finally... They're historic at something. Yeah, and then Genty against Washington. Our run D's been solid, but he's still going to get all the touches. Nico against Jacksonville. That Jacksonville defense, bad. Travis Kelce. I like the Chiefs too. Must win. If they don't win this game, Dynasty might be over. It might still be over, but on paper, it's still alive if they win. Yeah, I'm taking Mikosi. I like some of the matchups. If I was betting on this matchup, I'd take Cal because he's got weird devil magic, and Egbuka is probably going to put up 40. But pick-wise, I'm going Mikosi. It's a safe bet. I like his matchups. This team is so weird. Some of the teams this year are just blowing holes into my brain. I just can't comprehend them. Cal's one of them. It's weird. All right, so yeah, here are my official predictions. Myself over Briggs, Rag over Scott, Pushan over Maish, Brett over Ish, Rob over Clay, Hayden over Sutton, and Mikosi over Cal. This would mean Sutton and Maish are both 0-3, and this would mean we don't have any more undefeated teams. Hopefully this comes true, because that sounds pretty sick to me as someone who's 1-1. Two teams falling even lower than me, and the two teams above me coming down to earth. So, obviously these picks are biased. No one ever claimed them not to be. If you want the little... Anyway, I'm excited for football tomorrow. Another divisional matchup. Probably when they scheduled this, they thought the Dolphins might be a little better. But Thursday Night Football's been doing better about scheduling decent football games. Shout out Eshawn. Shout out Bezos. I will see you guys next week. Enjoy your weekend of football. We're through the dark days. It's Wednesday night. You can do this.